for us in making Diablo 3, and I've heard some people say like, well, why online for a single player game? And my first response to that is we've never seen Diablo as a single player game. It's always been developed from the ground up as a co-op game. I don't know that I can name another game out there that isn't considered an MMO where you can instantly join or have your friend join your game dynamically and have it, it's not that they come in as like subservient to you or as an assistant. No, they come in as just as big a part of the story as you do, and the game just adjusts automatically. So that's because we built the game from the ground up to be a cooperative experience. So for us, we see Diablo as an online game. We think that's the best experience we can give to players, and that's what we're focused on, is what's the best possible experience we can give. We can look at any game and say, you can look at StarCraft 2 and say, well, I don't like RTSs. How is StarCraft 2 for me? And the answer is, it's probably not for you. But because of the choices that we made and the type of game that we've chosen to make. So with Diablo, we're really focused on that online experience. We think it's the best way for players to play. And we realize that there are sacrifices that we have to take on to be able to focus on that experience. As a designer, my favorite class is the monk, because I think just because he's the one I worked the most on. Like most of the classes we had some kind of shared duty on at some point, but the monk was pretty much all me. So I've had, and that to say that I mean in the initial concepting and the conceiving of skills and the designing of that, once it gets past that into tuning and things like that, there's a lot more people involved. But that kind of core concept of the class and the instrumental decisions on how he should play were really me. As a player, totally the barbarian, because I like smashing stuff. Like I'm people who know me know that my favorite thing are big things that destroy other things. I love that, especially with their fists or axes. So it's very much in my personality to charge in and hit things. The criticism that we're not innovating, innovation is usually the word. I don't know of a Blizzard game that did not get that criticism. StarCraft 2 got it, Diablo 2 got it when it came out. People, railed against it as being not innovative and ugly. I remember that was a really World of Warcraft. Almost every one of our games, people say they're not innovative. And I feel the reason why is because they're looking for innovation to be in a big uppercut punch super feature. They're looking for one thing that says to them, this is the next greatest thing ever. And we just don't think that that's the way to make games. Like, we think that innovation comes in perfect execution. Like, we have a saying around the office, if you had a choice between playing a perfectly innovated game or a perfectly executed game, which would you do? And the answer for us is always perfectly executed, because an innovative game that's poorly executed is not a good game. But a game that's executed very, very well is always a great game. So for us, things like how we approach the combat model and how we're approaching the skill systems, these are not radical changes. Well, some people would say they're radical changes, but to us, that's where the innovation lies. That's where the innovation is most interesting. If we have taken the gameplay a step forward, then we feel that's incredibly innovative and way harder to do than throwing in a flashy feature that may get a lot of press and it may have people say, oh, we are really innovative. It doesn't actually make the game better. I don't really have a problem with the Torchlight comparisons. I mean, obviously the games are similar. They're both Diablo is their parent. I just don't feel that the market needs to be reduced to just one or the other. I know some people will want to take, put their stake in the ground and say Diablo 3 is better or Torchlight 2 is better. And people do a lot to justify their purchases, and more power to them. If they should love the games that they love. I personally will play both. And I think most players who love this genre will too. I think as a genre, the action RPG has been vastly underpopulated for years. So to finally see a good number of titles coming out for it that are high quality, I say hallelujah. I think the two stand next to each other quite well. Torchlight is definitely a little bit more on the cartoony side. They've made some very different choices from what we've made. I don't think they're invalid choices at all. They're just different. And I think some players will really appreciate the choices that they've made. In some ways, it's kind of nice. It's like you can say, like, if this is what you wanted, then you've got this game. If Diablo 3 is what you want, you've got Diablo 3. But I'm very confident in the choices that we've made for the game. I'm very confident that the quality is Blizzard quality, and it's a game that people will want to play. And for us, that matters more than any competition.
My minions will find the stone, wherever you choose to hide it.